It's time for Waking Up with Wesley. Today's forecast and weather-wide discussion with WLOX First Alert Weather's senior meteorologist, Wesley Williams.
Waking Up with Wesley is sponsored by Exclusive Auto Brokers. For the best deals on wheels, visit Exclusive Auto Brokers on Beatline Road in Long Beach.
Hello there, and thank you for waking up with Wesley. I'm Senior Meteorologist Wesley Williams. Did you know that there's a front in Mississippi today, and that is trying to bring a change to the weather across parts of our area? Let me take you to the weather graphics, and you can see what's happening this morning over the Magnolia State. It's a stationary front. To the north of that front, the air is turning drier, and you can see that the dew points have dropped in Tupelo, Tunica, and Greenville. Compared to what they were 24 hours ago. So when you take a look at what the current report is as of Friday morning, it's feeling less muggy right now as of 8 o'clock Friday morning in the northern part of our state. But we on the Mississippi coast are on the southern side of this stationary front, so we're not getting any change to our conditions. We are still seeing very soupy, juicy, muggy air along the coast with dew points into the middle and upper 70s. So it is still plenty of moisture here to allow for some rain chances as we go into your Friday. Temperature-wise, there's not really been too many changes on either side of the front, although we are noticing some of the warmest temperatures are down along the coast. Anywhere in South Mississippi and nearby, we're looking at temperatures not too far from 80. However, areas to the north of the front, you are seeing temperatures into the lower 70s, so a little bit cooler in the northern part of the state. Well, here's the thing. As we track this front today, it is going to be an assist, a plus, a boost to our rain potential. Anywhere near and along that front, that's going to be where you have this convergence zone. The winds north of the front always roll toward the front from the north. The winds south of the front always roll toward the front from the south. And where you have those winds converging and running into one another, colliding, well, they have to change direction. The winds can't go through one another, so those particles actually wind up rising. They can't go underground, they can't go down. So colliding air masses at a surface of a frontal boundary, that causes lift. And that lift is what helps to aid and assist in the development of rain clouds today. So you'll look at a large area along that frontal boundary that features, a good potential for rain. It's going to be your normal summertime pop-up showers and storms, but more of them. Since they are aided by this front. This is exactly what happened yesterday. You don't need me to remind you of that, but if you were, curious about it, we do have the time lapse from yesterday. This was, oh boy, look at that, in Biloxi, showing that gigantic downpour in the Biloxi area yesterday afternoon. We'll take that full and rewind it so you can see it one more time. First of all, let me go through this very slowly. What we have at the beginning of this is basically a rain curtain. There's this gigantic curtain of rain that's right here, and it is falling from the bottom of that thunderstorm there. So you've got the rain just coming down in buckets in this area here, where you can see that rain just falling. It's almost like a downburst or a microburst type situation. Apparently you have this little hole in the rain right here where there's nothing, and then over here you've got even more downpours that are occurring off there. And I did notice at some point here there was a strike of lightning. Let's see, did you see that right there? Which, by the way, this is time-lapse footage, so it is very rare to get a lightning strike in time-lapse, because the time-lapse takes a picture once every 15 seconds, the one that we're running. And so that meant that there was some really frequent lightning for us to actually see one of those strikes. So we had very heavy rain, we had frequent lightning, we also had some gusty winds with this particular thunderstorm that was in the Biloxi-D'Iberville area yesterday afternoon. And I want you to understand that the same thing can happen today. The same thing can happen today with a chance for some heavy showers and downpours that could lead to some strong thunderstorm development. As you can see, by the time we get to noon and 1 p.m., we're already seeing some of this development along parts of the Mississippi coast. This particular information suggesting it could be near Jackson and Harrison counties, but just understand we're kind of all up for grabs as far as the PM rain chances today. You can see again even more activity heading into later Friday afternoon. We're still seeing some of these scattered showers and thunderstorms in the area. So if you have some Friday afternoon plans, you want to have a rain jacket and umbrella nearby. As you can see, we're still seeing some of that even during Friday evening. So this particular information showing one right on top of Harrison County around 6, 7, or 8 p.m. And then as we go to later tonight, the continuation of those, but the eventual decrease of the activity. If you have our WLOX weather app, then you're able to stay up to date on the latest hour-by-hour rain chances, which are expected to basically triple by the time we go from this morning to the time we go to Friday p.m. So understand that there will be some scattered showers and thunderstorms in the mix because that front is still there. But there is some nuance in the forecast because okay, a stationary front, by definition, it doesn't move very much, and whenever it does move, it doesn't move very quickly. But maybe the trend with this could be that this front kind of sinks more and more to the south. Today, it's basically near or north of us, so the position that we are in is good enough to see some rain showers across the area. But as we go to tomorrow, maybe that front goes a little bit more to the south, and so we're seeing more drier air to the north of us. So places like Pearl River, Stone, and George counties might see less rain tomorrow. Places along the coast still seeing some continuation. And then on Sunday, the front sags even farther offshore, and it looks like everyone turns drier by then. So something that we're watching for you, the stalled front nearby today, scattered showers and thunderstorms again like yesterday. But eventually, if that front slides offshore, which it will not do very quickly, it takes it basically 2 or 3 days to slide from the middle of Mississippi to maybe the northern Gulf. But if it does that, then that's how we can get to a less wet weekend. So that's what your 7-day forecast shows. The chance of rain gradually decreasing over the weekend from 60% on Friday down to 40 to 50% on Saturday, down to basically just 10 to 30% on Sunday. Of course, with less rain, it is going to be hotter, so high temperatures will jump into the lower and maybe middle 90s on Sunday as well as next Monday. Then another cool front arrives in the area, this one a bit stronger next week. So strong that it actually knocks away some of our humidity. So that is a possibility going to next week. We could finally get a decrease in the muggy feel in the air, and you're looking at that dew point trend, noticing still muggy Friday, still muggy Saturday, still muggy Sunday, still muggy next Monday. But then once that front passes next Monday or Tuesday, that's when we start to get this decrease, and the decrease could become pretty noticeable by the time we get to the middle of next week. So keep that in mind, the potential for a less humid air mass next week, which could also allow for some cooler mornings, mainly inland. We'll have more days to track those changes as we get through the weekend and early next week, but just wanted to give you an early heads up about the potential for maybe a little more comfortable feel in the air as we get closer to next week. Well, that'll pretty much do it for today's edition of Waking Up with Wesley. I've been Senior Meteorologist Wesley Williams. We'll catch you again next time. Until then, have a good one.
Waking Up with Wesley has been sponsored by Exclusive Auto Brokers. For the best deals on wheels, visit Exclusive Auto Brokers on Beatline Road in Long Beach.